What is going on, everybody? Back on the Crew 2 today, and well, as you guys know, some new cars were added, so in this video I'll be taking a look at the Porsche 911 Carrera RSR Turbo, which first glance this thing looks freaking dope, so let's go ahead and buy this thing for $559,000. Let's take a look at the colors you can do here, which looks pretty cool. Honestly, I'm going to probably have to go with black on there. That looks pretty cool. So rims, and let's purchase this thing and see what we can do to it. Walking around this thing at the HQ here, guys, you can see that definitely has some RWB on there, and man, this thing looks freaking cool. I can't wait to actually try it out and see how it compares to other vehicles. Let's go test this thing out. Alright guys, so I figured I would jump right into customization on this thing to see what can be done. So obviously I did show the colors before, and as you guys can see, I also removed the livery to it before, to see what it looks like. Looks pretty cool there, and you see what it looks like with the colors on it without that livery. Looks pretty awesome, honestly, so let's go take a look, see what else we can do. So when it comes to liveries, if you're wondering, whatever somebody has made, or whichever ones Ubisoft and Ivory Tower have had, you can put on there. Pretty cool. And then when it comes to visual parts, you can change the rims, but personally I'm going to leave those because they look freaking cool on there. And then you can also change the caliper colors as well if you would like. Personally, I'll probably just leave them the same color that they are here. Looks good like that. And you can obviously add some vanity items if you would like, plus the new tires and all that they have added. Pretty cool there. It really depends on what you guys feel like adding to it with the tires and all that, and it depends on what you guys have. Besides that, though, guys, that's pretty much it when it comes to customization. Not too much can be done to this thing. Let's go test this thing out and see what the top speed is on it and see how it drives. So, guys, as you know, I'm now at the Salt Flats here. I like testing the cars out here to see how they do at top speed, and, well, we know the touring cars are pretty fast. Normally, they do, like, over around 250 or so, so I'm going to test it out on this and then the street. So, taking a look at this Porsche right now outside, I must say this thing is pretty freaking nice. Like it, let's listen to it. I think sounds pretty good. Seems like Ubisoft's doing a pretty decent job with the engine sounds, which is pretty awesome. Let's take a look at the interior now. I can move it down. There we go. Looking pretty good. Obviously, it is a race car, so not too much in here. So let's go drive it now and see how it does with acceleration. So it seems pretty good. I am running the Chemist set if you are wondering to test this thing out. So just how it wheel spin a little bit there. Obviously, it's rear wheel drive. So let's see how this thing will do. So it has 5 gears, which is actually not bad. Holding speed pretty well. And Nitro Chemist seems to be making this thing a lot faster. So far, I'm, yep, 254 miles an hour there, which is basically around the same speed as the Renault. I think the Renault does about 256, 257 with Nitro Chemist. So that's pretty impressive. Let's go drive it on the road now, which it probably does the same speed there, but sometimes it may be a little different. Now we're on the street, guys. Let's go see what this thing will do here. I know it's kind of weird, but sometimes the cars are a little bit faster on some roads and slower on others, which is kind of interesting, but I figured I'd test it here as well to see if it affects the car's speed at all. Definitely a good little test. Let's get back on the road here. Let's see how this thing does as well. I also put a little build on it to see how it handles. I'll be testing out in a race soon. See how this thing compares to some of the favorites like the Renault or the Lamborghini Gallardo there, because those cars seem to be the best in the class at the moment. This car seems to be very quick, though, which is pretty awesome. Handling is interesting. I might need to adjust that a little bit. Overall, I did 250 there again with no issues at all. So this thing definitely has great speed and acceleration, which is a good sign. Could definitely be a good competitor there. Besides the little adjustment on the handling that needs to be done, it seems pretty decent overall. Let's see how it does here. So it looks like I said, so yep, on the road it is doing a little bit faster, which is exactly where I like to test it on here. So it looks like it did 260 there on the road, which is pretty impressive. That's right up there with the Renault. Does about the same. So this thing might have some really, really good aspects to it. The only thing that might hold it back a little bit is if it keeps handling like that, even if the perfect build's on it, because then it won't be able to compare to the Renault. Even with a great build, with all that speed, might not be able to use correctly if it doesn't handle. Let's go take it on the track right now. Test this thing out. So obviously, like I said, the acceleration on this car seems to be pretty dang good. Nitro Chemist seems to affect it very well, which I noticed on the touring cars. The Nitro Chemist does a great job on that. So let's see how this thing does in this area here. Very interesting to see how it does here. So I do have the handling pretty much the best it can be right now, from what I've researched and all that with adjustments and how I normally adjust my vehicles. This pretty much is the best this car will be able to get, so I'm interested to see how it does around these turns. Not sure if this thing will be able to compete with the Lamborghini or the Renault, but it'll be a pretty cool car to have in the class overall, and let you guys know if it's worth buying it or not. So this thing is over $500,000. Would I buy this car if I was going to be doing summits and competing in them? I'm going to have to be honest with y'all. That's a no. I'll probably end up buying the Renault or the Lambo over this, just because I think that thing's way better for competing. This car seems to lose itself a little bit in some turns. It accelerates great and has great speed with Chemist, but I think the Renault is just still far superior to this. The handling is just better on that car, and it doesn't seem to lose itself as much on some of the turns there. Doesn't have an insane amount of oversteer, which I probably could adjust the car a little bit, but overall, if I lowered the ARBs and all that, it'd probably handle worse. I did test that a little bit, and I noticed sometimes the car would lose itself more. Overall, the car is pretty cool, though, and it looks great. It sounds awesome. Driving a little bit in first person here as well on the track. So the car is awesome. They did a great job with the sound on it. Hitting about 250 there with no issues at all, which is pretty impressive, honestly. The speed on this car is great. Just have to see how it does with some turns. So as you guys see there, it held that pretty well at 200. It caught itself a little bit, so it's not awful, but I feel like the handling is a little wonky on it sometimes. It seems like it handles pretty well. Sometimes a little weird. I'm not gonna lie about that. Like, that was just me right there. But overall, it seems pretty decent, and it doesn't seem like it's awful, but I do feel like it's not the greatest. And like I said, if you guys are in the market to buy one of these cars, $600K for a vehicle in that class, if you're looking to spend that, you're going to want something you're going to be able to use in summits too, to compete or race. This car is definitely very quick, and it looks awesome just for looks alone, just a racing Porsche. I mean, just honestly, it's an RSR, so buy it for that matter if you like. But if you're looking for competitive racing, I think I'd rather you spend your money on the Renault or the Lamborghini Gallardo Trofeo, though. Those cars definitely be able to be great for racing in the summits. I actually used the Renault in the recent summit. That thing freaking killed that race. It was just amazing, the handling. Like I said, guys, the car's not awful, though. It's great coming out of turns. It has great speed, acceleration. That thing holds itself pretty well. Handling's a little weird on it sometimes, which I think is where it might mess up a little bit. I might test it in that one race in the summit. But overall, guys, I'd have to say, if you want it, grab it for your collection. If you're looking for, like, a competitive vehicle, though, for summits, I'm not sure if this is the greatest car to be using. I think the Renault and the Lamborghini would be better for your money there. Someone did ask me in the comments there, so hopefully this video answered your questions. This car's pretty cool overall, guys, like I said, and look for looks and driving, it's freaking dope. Anyway, here's my settings. And here are my settings I'm running on the Porsche 911 Carrera RSR Turbo.